And then you think you've left where you're from, come here, you've given up your whole life, everything you know, to come here and have a kid, and your kid grows up and says you want to be a DJ or something, and you're like, what's this DJ? Do you know what I've done to get you here? And it's like, do you know what I mean? Let's not forget what our parents have done for us.
He could end up being David Guetta.
No, he could. But where I'm coming from, I don't know David or Guetta.
People would be saying, how can they support the channel? Chiso by Chiso. I've got tops, I've got hoodies, I've got the Dragon Ball Z tees, like the Pain and Full Star tees. You lot can support, buy some of the merch. I'll be able to churn out more content. This one I'm just waiting by myself for the moment, and I'll bring out more colours. Please support.
Like the way this thing looked, yeah, it was soaked.
We can talk about this on camera though.
Yeah, cool, but fam, it was wipe your bum stuff. Like the machine was doing wipe your bum stuff. Like it was crazy. Like the cucumber that they demonstrated on Almost Bus in the video. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm telling you, bro.
Bro, it's too early, man.
Nah, but
Too early, the beginning.
bro, I'm not gonna buy one.
We can't start like that.
But yeah.
If they say to you, listen, mate, we've seen your social media platform. We know that you're kind of, you got a say in things. We want to use you as a guinea pig for this machine.
To demonstrate.
You look,
Yeah.
let me just say this. I can be bought, you know. You see you man that are mightier than thou and you stand for things, I can be bought. It's just about the price. I'm just not doing any funny backdoor business, but other than that, we can negotiate. I don't care. You think I care about what people are going to say online? Bro, I put content out and it's been silent. No one's responded. That hurted my feelings. So the negative comments is still feedback, bro. I'm here for it, bro. I could be bought. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we all can.
Yeah, I could be bought. I'll own it. Yeah, I'll
How about
own
you?
it,
Can you
bro.
be bought?
In regards to what though?
Yeah, see
Like
that?
in regards to what?
Is there not a price for you?
Selling somebody out.
No, just
Is there not a price for you?
I don't believe that there is, bro.
Does your workplace not technically buy you out for a certain amount of time a day? You got a price, and that's what you're worth. It might hurt. It sounds a bit harsh, but whatever you're being paid an hour is what your boss thinks you're worth. So technically, you're being paid whether it's 6 hours or 8 hours of your day.
But see, my job's a bit different. I ain't got a normal 9 to 5. I got a as and when. So I don't feel like I can be bought. Does that make sense?
Okay, but that place has determined what your worth is for those hours, and you're happy to accept that at this particular moment in your life.
Do you know, and another reason why, my job's a bit different because I can go to work, I got work tonight. I can go to work, and be there for 2 hours and get the same amount of money I get paid if the job's cancelled. And I still get the same money. If I go there for 10 minutes, I'm cracking up my budget. Yeah, guys, home time, we ain't got the brackets, go home. So it's just like, it's the, oh, I might be working hard today, oh, I get paid the same money. So,
Flexibility.
Yeah, man for not be flexible though. Love it.
Yeah, I knew that.
But you know,
Wait. You see the last episode, Gabriel? Remember what I was saying to you?
what's that?
The last episode of Cameron was like the first time in a long time we've got a whole episode with no pauses.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
think it probably
These
was.
immature motherfuckers.
I'm gonna
just
stop.
came
Right,
in
do
and
you know, this episode, no pauses, no lavas, no fires. Yeah.
It's impossible, man.
Even if it is lava, even at work, my brother's like, bro, see you and your brother chinks, you don't say some fire stuff you keep missing, you keep missing bare lava.
Yeah, it becomes an
But
environment
I'm
you
gonna
can't
stop.
live in.
I'm gonna stop from today. I'm gonna stop.
Nah, you're not going to, man.
You're not going to.
You're not going to.
You're not
For
going
this episode, I will.
Hold on, so technically you say you're self-employed.
Yeah.
Would you say you're self-employed? Would you say you're self-employed?
to work for the man.
Well, technically you're self-employed.
50-50.
No? And what do you think it is about employment that puts maybe, I'm going to talk about us, that what puts you off employment?
Like, the hierarchy, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't work for you.
Why is that? Even if I could pay you more than you're being paid at your
Hella
workplace now.
personable.
And I think that's the biggest problem that we have amongst
Yeah,
ourselves.
I wouldn't work for you. And-
No, but
and it's dumb.
he's speaking from a place of experience where he's worked for a friend before. So
I'd
he's got a horse
rather
in this
do
race.
stuff for you for free. Does that make sense?
Then
That was very mature of us. Very
Then
mature.
what?
of us. Sorry.
Then me trying to kind of sun you and say, look, yo, what time is this kid? Or yo, can you not see that's on the floor?
You see the phone? You see the phone call we had the other day. The phone call.
What have I missed?
I know.
Where's this busting up?
Do something for free, but I'm doing the grown stuff today. Do something for free is
No, where's this? You're the main culprit, Wes, you know. Because Wes is crying right now. You're the main culprit.
He's talking about doing stuff for a piece of change. He's talking about doing something strange for a piece of change, and we didn't say nothing, you know. We let it slide. We let it slide. Yeah.
So we doing that? We doing pauses or what?
The other day, the phone call you had the other day when you interrupted our training session for 45 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you spoke to him like that, both of you would be fighting today.
But I think yes, you're right.
You was 100% in the right. But if you two had the same conversation, you'd be fighting right now.
You're right, but I think the biggest problem we have, and I think, is that we don't like authority. And I don't know whether that stems from maybe not having. Remember, obviously, I wasn't raised with a dad around, so I don't know whether that maybe stems from it. But is it not authority? Is it authority we're running away from?
Work, yeah. I've always had nonsense jobs. I got a bus driver job, and then it was just like it's school. It's when your work feels a bit schooly. I feel like I'm being punished or reprimanded like I'm at school. I'm being spoken to like a way I shouldn't be just for money. Like it's all of that stuff, and then not being in control of my time. That's one thing as well. Having to them like a lunch break is them telling you when you can eat and stuff like that, and like it's just loads of things to it, man. But it's not for everyone. Some people can put up with that and stuff like that. But there's loads of things to it, man. And then if you're doing something you love, then I can understand that. But if you're just there for the money, there's only so long that can suffice in keeping you in that, I think. Because I think everyone is the best in the world at something. You just need to discover that and do that. Just working for nonsense don't make sense to me, really and truly, I think.
Yeah, even if you said to me, listen, kid, I'll pay you triple than what you're getting paid at work now to make drinks, but you have to do it when I say so. Well, then.
And is that because it's me and the familiarity? But if it was like, say, Greg or Chad or Brad,
I still wouldn't do it.
That's contradictive, but he has a horse in this race because he's worked for a friend before, so he's never going back to that environment. So it is the friendship thing, I believe.
No, I just want to.
Because he works for some.
I wouldn't work again like that. Do you know? I wouldn't work again like that, bro. I'm not.
Doesn't work for someone you know.
I just don't.
No, typical job like hours. Come here, do this every.
Bro. I don't want to be told, hey, you're running late. So and so, you're late. I don't want.
But isn't that part of the problem then? Because it's structure. We're almost running away from as well. Because when we look at black guys in the corporate field, a lot of the times we don't find them, and I think a lot of it is because they don't want to be told what to do or have that structure, which means you get in to work at 8. You said you're telling me when to go on break. You're chasing me for a deadline of something. It's almost like we want to do our own thing. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
You know what it is as well. You see, like it's feeling I can be that guy. You see that guy telling everyone. Like, back in the day when I was younger,
yeah.
There's a guy in my area. I used to sell drugs, so we used to get all the young kids, send them away, and then make money and come back. I went away for 1 week. I earned about 4 to 6 grand for the week, gave him the money and took £600 back and went home. And the whole time I was thinking, I just gave him like 6 grand. Do you know what I mean? And then I said, oh, no, I want to be that guy. I don't want to be the 6 bills guy. Yeah. So it's the fact that I feel that whatever you're doing, I can do that. And I want to be that. I don't want to be the guy at the bottom of the thing. I want to be, that was what I let go. But
we're not doing that. We're not doing it.
Sorry.
We're not doing it.
I don't know, it's just anything anyone else can do. Like, I'm not a sprinter. I think if I put my all into it, I could beat Bolt in a race. It's just me feeling I can be better than this situation of where I am and progress and go up and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. I can't be bought, man.
You can be bought, man.
I can be bought, bro.
Well, aren't we being bought though when we're at work?
Yeah, of course.
Or am I making it sound too sinister?
But
when someone says, okay, you're going to be at work for 8 hours and I'm going to pay you £150 for those 8 hours and you're going to come into work. And if you decide not to come into work, you're not going to have any money. So we all have to work. And I think people don't want to work. We have to work. All animals work. Mammals, everyone has to work. But I think we have a problem with, I don't know if it's the structure, the routine or the authority.
I'm trying to figure that out as well.
I think it's a mixture of all of that. I think it's a mixture of all of that. And I don't know, man. I can't put my finger on it, but...
Okay, what did your dad do for work? My dad was a minicab driver. Well, he said a chauffeur, but minicab driver.
My dad was a courier, and now he does Uber.
Okay, your pops? But if you notice though, courier and Uber is technically self-employed. So he has the...
Yeah, he's always been self-employed.
It's working for himself. Same thing, my dad didn't want to get a job. because he wanted to.
Want to be a boss.
That was his thing of being self-employed by doing mini cabbing. No one could. He can start when he wants. So that means if he wakes up at 11 a.m. and goes to the depot or to the office, no one tells him where was you.
And I used to remember when I used to go to. Now I'm only clicking back now. Like when I used to go to work with my dad, whatever, and there'll be bare like people reporting to him like, yeah, I've done this today, I've done that. I was like, but you don't. This ain't your company. This is when ICS. Remember ICS? Old school.
No, I think I see that on the side of the van.
I think it came back around now, but it's like they used to come to him and be like, yeah, this is so and so. I've done this now and I've done that, and they'd be like, yeah, you go and pay them the money. But I'd be like, but you don't own this company, so how are these people? But obviously he bought the roots in it and gave it to other drivers. And So now I'm getting what was going on. So maybe it stemmed from my dad like being self-employed, and that's how I'd rather work for my friends for free, like help out their company. Instead of you saying, yeah, here's the bills, man, or here's 150 for the day. I'd rather do it.
Is that a pride thing that your mate is kind of giving you money?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's got a horse in this race. Huh? He's worked for a friend before,
so
and it wasn't a good experience. So he's not going to go back there. But if the money was very, very, very good, he'd do it. Do you know what I mean?
You think so?
Of course you would. If the money was stupid, if what you're having to do for the money doesn't add up and it's easy money, you'd be stupid.
But then I don't watch what people make actually. I'm the complete opposite. I don't care what you make. That's why I'd rather do it for free.
But part of it says to me that it's almost someone who you know. I don't want to use the word son in you, but it's almost like, okay, stay here for 5 hours, then you finish safe, man.
I can be sunned. I can be bought as long as the compensation. Like I support Arsenal. If you paid me enough, I'll go to a Chelsea game and a Chelsea shirt. Because it's about the money. As long as I'm being compensated duly. But I'm not homosexual. If you paid me to go to the LGBT rally and wave flags, I'd be there. It's about as long as the money's enough.
So when does principle come in?
When it's about my own personal sexuality and doing stuff that I don't agree in that way. I can't be bought in that way.
So you being associated with anything, as long as it's not compromising you, you're fine with it?
As long as I'm not being physically compromised.
Yeah.
I don't. If it's something I don't stand for, if you pay me enough, I'll be there. I don't care. And I'll just tell the people, like, hey, yo, it was for this money, you know. Like, don't think I'm out here ripping this. But for the money,
This is a guy them Nigerian politicians paid to fuck up elections.
This nigga might fuck up man's brand, man. What a guy.
How?
I want to say, we weren't kidding Chinks to come on this mad podcast, whatever. I'm not going because the podcast is mad.
You don't go, but I'll go.
Nah,
I'm going. Yeah, I could sit down with all of them. Let's talk. Yeah. Once my banking app goes off, we can have a discussion. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm not going.
I'm looking at the Monzo like.
I don't care, bro. I need the monies, man. I need the monies. Yeah.
No, I think there is a price. I've got a price, 100%.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you said that you would go to a 9 to 5 now to get
100%.
I still can't believe that.
Why can't you?
100%.
I don't know. Bro,
I tell you what, I have no problem with routine now. See what it is, yeah. See this. If you told me to get up at 7 a.m. to go to work for 8 a.m., my break is at 12. I leave at 5, and I'm in one of those companies. Obviously, not every business is certified that you're always going to get paid, apart from when you're working in the public sector. But if I had a job where I know I'm going to get paid every month, and I have to walk in at this time and leave at this time, I'm happy with that, you know. I can be brought. And I think anyone who's doing a 9 to 5 is being brought, because they've taken 8 hours of your day, even more than 8, because you might travel to work for an hour, get back in an hour, you're getting ready. Almost 80% of the time you're awake is your workplace. If you go to bed at 10, or maybe 9 o'clock to go to work, you've woke up at 7 a.m, you've got home for maybe 7, you've only got 2 hours or 3 hours at home.
No, of course.
So I think we're being bought in the same way. You've got a price. If you say to me, oh, you do filming, and I say to you, oh, you say this is your rate for 2 hours, and I say, nah, man, I can only afford £100.
Bro, that's like...
It's not enough for you. I can't buy your time. And I think maybe it sounds bad me saying being bought, but I can buy your time.
No, but it is. People want to get emotional about it because of the wording, but the fact of the matter is you're being bought.
Yeah, I can buy your time.
As that.
I can buy your time in the same way. If as bad as it sounds, maybe your ego might step in the way. But if I said to you, all right, kid, I'm going to give you £400 today. I just want you to stand in that corner for 6 hours for me.
Big man, I'll be in the corner. You can make me face the wall. I'd face the wall.
That's
if you
like
paid
what
me the money.
Cameron was talking about the other day. Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I just don't know, bro.
So I remember if I said to you, I'm gonna give you 6 bills, so you stand in that corner for 4 hours.
Bro, you see,
I don't think I'll do it.
but you're laughing.
I don't think I'll do it.
You know,
I'll be
2012,
honest.
yeah, 2012, man did that Olympic year.
I remember you said,
Yeah, the square. Remember I said to you,
What's that?
I did security, and it was at Watches Switzerland. A man had to stand.
In that literally in there, don't move.
Bro, I was doing 12, 14-hour days
Standing in the same spot.
for months. Then I used to come home and I remember my aunt used to be like, why not take a day off? Da-da-da. I said to her, when you're asking for rent and my mom's phoning me asking for money,
Yeah, where does it come from?
where does it come from? You get me? I remember like I said to you before, when probably like the last time I saw my mom, maybe like 9 months before she passed, and I told her what man used to do, like what man used to get up to make extra bread and all of that, because she was trying to give me a speech about why have you bought this car, why have you bought this watch, why have you done this, and at the time, this was before COVID, so I said to her, you know, I've already saved up for my house, but I'm just like, man was all right. Then she's hit me up with, you shouldn't be spending on this and that. I said, no offense here, you shouldn't be telling me what I need to be doing on this when I'm still always cutting you bread.
And it's my money.
But I said, it's my money and you're telling me cut you more bread. But I said, the money I'm cutting to you should be able to sustain you and more. So I said, that idiot that you're dating, you're giving my man money. And I said, I'm your son. I'm not you lot's parents, innit? So it become a thing that he tried to jump in that convo, and I said, shh, big man, quiet.
It's nothing to do
You
with
get me? Like, I could literally just cut off your pipeline now, and you can't. But that's where it comes to what you're talking about authority with. So, anyway, I was explaining, I said, when man was all doing 14-hour shifts and all of this, and man was there struggling and paying, you lot saying I should do this and do that, but the only way I was able to get the extra to support you lot was I was doing.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym, or you talking?
You get what I'm saying? So fast forward now,
Yeah.
that things were going good and all of that, you're trying to tell me do this and do that, but I'd missed, let's say like the days where you man are going like Napa and all these places, I'd missed all of that to make sure they was all right. So I missed a bit of my growing up part. So when I'm there now enjoying and traveling more and all of this.
At what point do parents become a burden as they grow older? I use that word, I don't miss my words by using the word burden. At what point do parents become a burden? Meaning, a lot of our parents are now becoming, hitting 60, hitting 70.
Yeah.
They're in retirement age.
I don't
Now-
think they ever become a burden.
I'm along those
No, I
lines.
think they do. I'll tell you why. I feel like a lot of parents try to guilt trip you with, I did this for you,
Yeah.
I did that for you.
And it's
It's
the truth.
facts though. It's facts.
No, but the thing is, did I ask if you're born?
Nah,
hear
but
you.
still-
No, I'm being
No,
serious.
it's a
Bro,
serious
no,
question.
I'm serious. Did I
You're
ask to
right.
be born? There's a reason why I ain't got no youths here, and this is the reason why I ain't got no youths yet. I always say it to loads of people. I say, the things I had to go through growing up, my child's never going to see that. You get what I'm saying? My child's never going to do road. My child's never going to do fucking 40-hour shifts when your back is... Bro, there was times here, like, when I used to get home, and I'm told, could you tidy up on this? I'm like, I'm the only man going to work for this amount of time, and you can see that I'm struggling to walk, and you're telling me to come home and hoover the house when people be sitting in the house the whole day. You get what I'm saying? So, when you've been through all of that, you don't want your child to be born into that, because you're just going to repeat a cycle.
No, I hear you.
Like, man, them are having kids, and you're seeing some of my brethren who their kids are like 16 and 14, 15, they're telling me, I'm having difficulties with my son and blah, blah, blah. I'm like in my head thinking, you don't realise your son's about to be remixed. He's going conch soon.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's because you had the child early, but you haven't made enough money to be able to even sustain yourself, but you brought a child into the world. Do you think it's fair?
I hear you. No, it's not.
Then now fast forward to the future, when their life hasn't gone exactly to plan how they wanted, they start with, but I've done this for you, but I've done that for you, but I didn't ask to be brought out here.
Yeah, but there's people that don't have their parents, man.
Huh?
So it's like, because at the end of the day, you are who you are because of your parents.
Yeah, you are who you are because of your parents, but it gets to a certain point that their life decisions. They're blaming.
I think the
their
wording is
decisions.
what.
They're blaming. No. It is a
I use that word. I didn't miss my words on purpose. I use that word.
Their life decisions, like, you know what I mean. Go back to things with my mum. Me and my mum, where we was blessed. We was blessed. But certain times, I'll say, in life decisions, she used to say something that I realized me and her are the prime opposites. Where sometimes she used to say to me, don't you ever get lonely? And I said, nah. I said to her, I've always been one of those people that I was very self-assured from young. I was always used to, like, my mum would go work the whole day.
Sorry to cut you. What do you think made you so self-assured?
Because you know what it is, my mum always used to tell me, like, all right, if you look at my Insta, anytime I DM you, man, it says greatness. My mum always used to say to me, Chisel, you're great. So that's always stuck in my head from young.
So that's indirectly because of your mum then?
Indirectly,
and that's because of a weakness she found in herself that she didn't want in you.
Fast forward now, when it comes to stuff like dating women and that, my mum used to give me advice. I would treat girls like this, boom, 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 and I would always treat them proper. Then one time she was giving me advice, and I said, listen here, I said, you're telling me all of this here, but you're out here with this bum. You can't.
I hate
you get what I'm saying?
I hate you. Your parents are people, though.
Then my mum said, then she said to me, then this is when I had to allow it. After that, I just stopped digging at my man. Because she said to me, like, you live in England, I live in Nigeria. She goes, I get lonely and you're not here. My other son, my little brother, last month made 19 years since he died. So my little brother passed, so she's like, my two sons are not around. I get lonely, like, she's like, I'm left here by myself and all I get is phone calls with you, or when you travel to see me, or when I travel over here to see you. So apart from that, like, there's no one around.
Which is understandable.
Which is understandable. And she was like, then the rest of the family, everyone's got their own, you know what I mean, their own issues and all of that. So I get, like, but at the same time I feel like my man was taking advantage because he thought, cash cow.
Just to explain what a burden is. So I know it sounds harsh. Burden somebody yourself with something to give somebody a duty, responsibility that causes worry, difficulty, or hard work.
So man's missus is a burden then, from the beginning.
So you got to pick your burden.
You have to pick your burden.
Pick your burden.
Yes.
I'll even give you an example. I'll even give you an
beginning.
example going further back with that. So now, fast forward to maybe 2019, when my mum was asking me questions about, my lifestyle and that, and why I travel so much. So I said to her, all right, when you had 2 cars that I'd given you money for your business, you didn't ask me how my lifestyle was. These times, man, I have a whip, boy. I was an oyster bandit. Beep, beep. You get me? Man, I have no car. I had no car.
Not wrong with being an oyster bandit. There's not wrong with being an oyster bandit.
But at the same time,
if you haven't picked me though, you shouldn't.
Wait. But at the same time, you know, at that time, gal would be like, if a guy don't drive, and fucking Chris Brown and fucking, what's his name, Sean Kingston, he don't even drive, no. Them tunes were banging around them times then. Calling my phone. So them tunes was ringing off then.
He remembers this. This is a personable moment for him. You know?
Trust me. Them tunes was ringing off. Yeah.
You know the theme music to your pain.
Tunes was ringing off. I was living in my aunt's house in a fucking box room, and my mum was on the phone saying, you should move out, blah blah blah. I want you to get a girlfriend. I want you to get married. I said, what girl I'm gonna get fucking entertain on a fucking double bed in my aunt's room, in my aunt's yard, when I open the door and flipping, my cupboard's already there and everything's there, like I got too much stuff. So she's like, yeah, but you should have money to move out and blah blah blah. I said, I can't afford rent when I'm helping her and I'm helping you. So
that's a burden.
It's a burden. So when
we can pretty it up and make it sound nice.
Yeah, it's a burden.
I think. And a big problem is that a lot of our parents didn't pattern up. Let's be real. A lot of our parents, obviously, they're in a different era to us. So I'm not going to, let me give allowance. But some of our parents had 5 kids, 4 kids, and they had no right having so many kids. We can make it sound as fancy as we want to.
Yeah, but let's not demean what they've actually done.
But the moment, this is my thing, is that I don't, for instance, my mum was a hustler. and I rate my mum for hustling. But then I'll say to myself, take the title of my mum away from this. Let's just watch this like we're watching a TV screen. She probably, that woman, let me not say my mum. Helen didn't need to do that to herself.
Well, as in having so many...
Yeah, Helen didn't need to do that to herself. She didn't. And my thing is, at the moment, like, a lot of our parents now are going to be hitting 66, if they're not 66 already. And that's the retirement age. If they don't have a pension, yeah, a good pension, if they don't own their property outright, who's giving them money?
So you're saying if our parents was financially stable, they wouldn't become a burden. That's what you're basically trying to say.
Obviously, it's not only money, it could be health. And even though you're looking after them because they're your parents, so I only got it the other day when I spoke to someone who put their parent in an old people's home. The person's mum's got dementia. And he's like, look, my mum's forgetful. She gets things like, sometimes she can leave the house and just be walking. Like, I can't sit in this house.
Go pick those people up.
Yeah, I can't sit in this house with my mum 24/7. Yeah. And I think it's best she goes in there so she's not lonely. Because I said, why don't you get a carer to live in the house 24/7?
It's expensive.
He goes, it's more expensive. I could just put her in a open
Care homes is expensive.
It's expensive, but he said he's done the maths and it's cheaper to do that.
Yeah.
And I said, he said he feels guilty because he can't sit there with his mum every day. But he said, I've got a family and I have bills to pay. Now, a lot of our parents are getting to this age now. For instance, does your mum own the home she lives in outright? Does your mum own the home she lives in outright?
No.
So, and your mum's hitting 60 or going to be hitting 70
My
soon?
mum's like 57.
57.
58.
Okay, so in 10 years'
My
time...
dad does though. So
Okay.
he's patterned up properly.
See that
but
now?
my mum's financially okay though. Like she's not a burden to me.
I know,
I feel
but-
like I should do more for her.
Is she still working?
No.
So she's retired now, so she's good then.
No, she's just good with money, bro.
So she retired?
She never worked.
Oh.
She just made it
Kind
work.
of joking.
No,
She
how
just
she-
made it work. She just made it work. She only slept.
Wait, explain on it.
She only had kids with certain type of men who could afford their kids. She lived within her means, and she just made it work. Like that's all. I don't know. She
And
just
now,
made it work.
so
I never went without. My mum weren't rich. She never worked, but I never went without. She made it work.
So you would say technically that as you're growing up now, you're not going to have to fund your mum.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
Not at all. None of my parents.
How old's your mum, roughly?
She had me at 25, so 60.
60. So she's got another 6 years before she retires. Would you say that she's slowing down a bit? As in, like, she's not as fast and...
Nah.
So you said she's
My
still...
mum's still moving.
You're,
And you know what's mad as well?
But you've seen her age though.
I've seen her age and it kind of shocks me. It's
It
like,
does, innit?
Yeah, it's like...
It really
wow.
does. Like I never thought this day would come. Like
But prior to my brother being born, my mum had 2 houses. And my dad, obviously, being a dad, stepping outside, whatever, couldn't afford the mortgages, so the house got repossessed.
Okay.
So later down, is my mum going to become a burden? I very much doubt it because I know, like you said, your mum's good with money. My mum's good with money. Sometimes my mum be like, listen, do you need money for anything? I said, Mum, I've got my own children. I've got my own place to look after. I'm alright, you know. She's like, you're still my son. I can still do this. And I'm like, Mum, I look at my account and I see like £1,000. I'm like, Mum, come on.
where's your mum born?
Here.
Where's your mum born?
Nige.
Where's your mum born?
Nige.
And I think that's the difference. Like, you see, like our grandparents, kind of, because I think where you lot are in this country is like the equivalent of
your parents
my
were.
grandparents and parents. So like, if you could, like, your parents have done a lot just getting you here.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
And I
Like,
appreciate that.
And that's a lot of sacrifices. Like they've uprooted, left their home. That's why, like, when I see like like that meme, like when there's like a man who comes here and he's just breeding anything to get a kid, and then you think you've left where you're from, come here, you've given up your whole life, everything you know, to come here and have a kid, and your kid grows up and says you want to be a DJ or something, and you're like, what's this DJ? Do you know what I've done to get you here? And it's like, do you know what I mean? Let's not forget what our parents have done for us.
He can end up being David Guetta.
No, he could. But where I'm coming from, I don't know David or Guetta. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, do you know, like, your parents have done a lot to get you here, and you only when you grow up you realize your parents are people. You know, like they make mistakes, just like us.